Hey, what's up? This is Todd Smith. I am back with another video. Behringer dropped another banger today. It seems they have another prototype that they're showcasing that they did not talk about at all. Kind of a surprise after they dropped that JT16 yesterday, which was announced and expected. But now they showcased the prototype of the UBX. Which again, they state is in prototype stage, still early development, doing bug fixes, everything of that nature. So it's something that will take a little bit to get to the market. I imagine if you go to my channel and search UBXA prototype, I made an announcement. I would bet on it when the UBXA was a prototype announcement. And if you take that time frame to about, today, that is about the time frame it took them from going from the UBXA prototype to final release, which I would bet it wouldn't be any later than that for these newer projects like the JT16 and this UBX. In fact, I would assume that it might be even faster because I'm pretty sure COVID was still affecting the development of the UBXA, where COVID is becoming less of a thing. I do feel that's why Korg is releasing so much shit this year. They're kind of pulling a Behringer. They're just bombing a bunch of stuff on the market, and I think it's because they've been held back the last few years from COVID. Another gut thing, this isn't about Behringer, but I do believe that with the modules in the big keyboards of the Op6 being spread apart 3 years, and the fact that they had to cut the smaller keyboard versions just to get these newer versions out, tells me that COVID affected them in that nature too. I feel like the Op6 modules, big keys, little key version would have been pretty closer time frame together if COVID didn't affect the synth companies like they did. And so I do feel that it's starting to lose its grip as you see Korg open the floodgates, and I really feel it's going to affect Behringer's time frame a bit with these prototypes. But I have no inside connection. I really don't know what I'm talking about. That's just my gut feeling. But if you want to know what the difference between the UBX and the UBXA, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. I believe, without looking it up, just off the top of my head, that the UBX is just an earlier version. The UBXA came along later. Like the UBX was kind of the original of that series. If I'm correct, I think they use kind of different filters and different, some of the guts are different too, if I recall correctly. So it's kind of an earlier model of the sound. And I imagine some might prefer it to the UBXA, especially if you're a junkie of that brand. Some people might choose one over the other. They did not showcase a desktop yet like they did with the UBXA earlier in the production. I do hope they keep that in line, releasing modules, not just big keys, because as I state so many times, that was one thing I loved about old school synths, was you generally had the keyboard version, you would have a desktop version, and then they would have a rack mount version, so everyone was covered. Those days seem to be gone in a lot of stuff. Again, props to Korg for finally offering all 3 versions in their newest synths. That is something I want to see more often and stuff like that. Yeah. But if the UBX was something you've been waiting on over the UBXA, no, it is now in prototype stage. And as always, stay positive, stay creative, support each other. Peace.